You think that's funny, Alex? All right, welcome back. Wing It Podcast, goosedigital.com, holiday edition, season's greetings.
Season's greetings.
We have to be politically correct around this table.
I just don't want to offend anyone in the holiday season.
Okay, so episode 15, 5-1 or 1-5?
It only feels like
1-5.
5-1,
Okay.
but I think it is 1-5.
So
yes,
who do we have?
Robin Kroll.
Jeremy Landry.
Kevin Butler.
Michael Turksani.
Nice.
Okay, so, well, first of all, we saw the
First
cookies.
things first.
Okay.
Jeremy's first time on the podcast.
Is
Yes.
it really, Jared?
Yeah.
Okay, well, then you raise a goose.
Raise a goose cookie
Raise a goose cookie from our friends comda.com.
from comda.com.
Thank
Okay.
you, comda.com.
Thank
you, Com.
These look
These-
delicious.
These
by
are
the way.
matching. This is actually one of, if we don't know, this is our logo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For anybody that can't see.
Yeah, anyone that can't see.
And now that we
They're very
touched it, we
good.
can eat it.
Are we?
Yes.
Are we eating them? We will be eating them during this podcast, so that's good.
Oh,
Kevin's already going. Oh, he bit the tail right off.
How's it taste,
whole-
Kev?
Delicious.
Okay, good.
okay.
All right. So, well, welcome back. We're here, and it's winding down. We're winding down before holiday season. And, well, we're ready to talk about this. This has been a lockdown secret for the better part of close to a whole year worth of work that we've been putting behind what we're about to unveil today. So, well, what we're going to talk about is how marketing automation is basically become a linchpin for this year's holiday season. Right, Kev?
It absolutely has.
For Santa Claus.
But it's not only communications, which we talk about a lot in this podcast. It's all about efficiencies and operational use cases, which for this story,
Yeah.
we're really excited to talk about.
I think you just let the cat out of the bag because you just, named one of the client that we're going to be talking about today.
Yeah, so we are allowed to talk about this client. There's a few
Yeah.
things we're not allowed to say.
Yeah.
But Santa Claus became a client earlier this year.
Yeah.
And
It's a very strategic initiative.
it's a
Yeah.
strategic
Yeah.
account. They've got about 2 billion active contacts.
Yeah.
Give or take, yeah.
Give or take,
Yeah.
roughly.
A growing addressable market year over year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
and a power user, right?
power user of the system.
I mean,
Yeah.
hey, my wife and I contributed to that growing market this year with
yeah.
Well done, Kevin. Very nice. That's right. That's right.
Really taking one for the team, Kev.
Yeah, so we've got a big license. We can't tell you the platform name, a big license at 2
Yeah.
billion active contacts. And what we've put together, what we're allowed to talk about, is 12 things that we're doing right now to make this a successful season for Santa.
Yeah.
So we're going to go through them. So the first one, the 12 things that we're doing for Santa to automate this time of year, lead behavior scoring.
Naughty
so how
and
are
nice
we doing
list.
that? Naughty and nice
Yeah.
lists.
Yeah.
Go. Someone go into
Well,
this.
I think it's important to, you're going to get groupings, right? You're going to get the good kids and the not so well behaved kids. But
Yeah.
I think you
Yeah.
can also tier off the exceptionally well behaved kids from the good behaved kids.
That's a really good point because, you think of, is it good that you don't hit your younger brother? Is that like, do you get positive scoring for that? Do you get negative scoring if you do?
Well, it's complex scoring.
It's really complex.
Where are those thresholds?
Yeah,
Where does it get sent over the line?
Exactly. And I think if Santa tried to manage this on his own, it would just be an absolute nightmare.
I think the other thing is we talk a lot about the journey, right? But in this case, it's not just one action in January or one nice deed
No.
in March. I think it's the year-round view
Yeah.
and a total aggregated score
Yeah.
of behavior.
Yeah, and I think it's important for the kids out there to understand that, you think that, you forget to walk the dog and nobody notices.
Yeah.
We're tracking
So
Nothing
all
gets
this
past
stuff.
Santa.
that's
Nothing
true.
gets
Not
past
anymore.
Santa.
Not with
anymore.
this holistic
Yeah.
360 view of the
right.
of the naughty nice list. now.
Definitely the most complex
Look,
program we've
we're
built.
sorry, kids. Okay, I've got a couple of the now that are being scrutinized through this new process, but we think it's a good thing.
There's no getting away with things.
No. But the good news is the score goes both ways. We have things that make your score go up in the right direction, and we've got things that make your score go down
Yeah.
in the wrong direction. So you can actually do some good deeds.
Yeah.
This is the era of truth as far as behavior
Call
scoring.
grandma because that does good things for your behavior score.
Okay,
kids.
so let's go on to the next really fun one, which
two.
is number 2, which is personalized content. So now that we've got this system and we have way better tracking of what the wish list is for each of the children. How are we deploying the personalized content?
Well, the right gifts at the right time. I think
right.
it really starts there, right?
Yeah.
Understanding desires and interests and being able to actually deliver a gift responsive to those interests.
And not only that, but also making sure the gift goes to the right person.
Very important.
Even labeled correctly.
Exactly.
Not
yeah.
just
That's
older
right.
brother one.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's really important, right? Can you imagine if you just got like a gift under the tree and it just said, to brother one or, kid or like.
Behavioral score -5.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I definitely, Michael in all caps. We definitely with the landing page that we put out there was our wish list landing page provided ways to be able to put your individual gifts into the system.
Yeah.
Yep.
So from an inventory planning perspective, it helps.
Now, I had a conversation with Santa. This was about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and we talked about. So he's using this unknown platform to source content one way towards his audience. But what about in the future if he could leverage it the way back, right? So he could start to kind of tailor and personalize. I don't know whether it's cookies or milk or a certain kind of milk, and really personalize what he's getting out of the engagement.
All right, so let's go number 3. Let's talk about triggers. So number 3 things that we're doing this year for Santa Claus is using a marketing automation system to trigger off automatic messaging. So as an example, we said, as of Halloween is over, we're switching all that automatically over to Christmas messaging.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think the way that the, marketing is going is we just go from one holiday to the next. And
Well, it's topical too.
yeah.
Not that Santa cares about Halloween too much, but he knows when the time is really on.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. So I think that's really what it is.
And for the size of that database, but I think you can do this even at smaller levels. Triggering just takes the workload off. Right? We did say that this was a big part of just making it easier as more and more children are out in the wild, right?
I think it's that, but it's also, whether it's Santa or any other marketing automation user, it's about doing things at a scale or trying to get to a level of scale, and just doing everything manually by yourself ain't going to cut it. And so now, should his market continue to grow, he's now able to address that and continue achieving that level of scale.
By the way, it's time for me to take a bite of my cookie.
Please.
So
I've been staring at this.
Okay.
I was thinking about that.
Go to number 4. Go to number 4.
Oh, okay. So number 4, which is number 4 is our segmentation, right? Okay. So
There's so many ways this can go.
I know.
Yeah.
Okay,
So many
Jeremy,
ways.
how many countries do you think Santa has to deliver to?
Oh, I can go.
Well, I guess it'd be every country in the world.
Pretty much.
Pretty
right,
much.
Right. So, I think of Santa like, leaving the North Pole and then saying, okay, where do I deliver my gifts first? Like, how do
Yeah.
I know from a geography perspective?
But then you also have to think, is he delivering to the good kids first and then leaving the naughty kids for last? Because
Interesting.
if he's
That's
giving them
a-
coal, that's a different...
And how about
Wait, right?
repeat audiences, right? So
Yeah.
Yeah.
delivered for you last year, delivering again. So not
According to NORAD, we've got about 195 countries
Wow.
that are going to be in 4 oceans.
Yeah.
So
Or now that I think about it, what about prioritizing the deliveries for first-time Christmas experiencers? Because
Interesting.
Yeah.
really set a good example for making them feel special and new.
And there are certain countries, I think it's Australia probably is one of the first countries where it
Right,
actually
time
is
zones.
Christmas Day. So, Santa wants to make sure there's no point in getting to Canada on the 24th and then Australia on the 26th.
Yeah.
which I think leads us into number 7, which is adaptive opens. Identify the most likely time kids will be opening their gifts.
Yeah.
I would think first thing in the morning.
But
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
varies
Like-
across.
But traditions, right? Whether it's
Right.
wait for mom and dad to wake
Yeah.
up. This is sort of a nod
Yes.
to act on in their adaptive emails
Yeah.
and stuff. So
Yeah.
it's about taking a collection of data of past behavior
Yeah.
and letting that influence when we think that would be. Maybe that changes the route optimization that Santa takes.
That's really
Yeah. A
a
interesting.
little bit more time.
Yeah.
A little bit more time.
Yeah.
Hey, he's a busy guy.
I know. I mean, I just as we're talking about I think about all these complexities. what would he do without a marketing automation platform? Like it's crazy.
Well, he has a large audience. Now that gets us into number 8, which is list maintenance. I mean, how do you keep those addresses up to date? If what I'm seeing here is,
People move.
people move.
What if people opt out of Santa? You got to respect that.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's not much you could do about that.
No.
No. But you want to be respectful
I mean, GDPR.
Or here's an example, though. What if they're not opting out, but what if their preferences have changed? So you've moved from a home to a condo. You don't have a chimney.
Yeah.
So your your delivery subscription preferences have changed. Now he's got to walk through the door.
And I think another thing is about aging out.
Yeah.
Because really, you're 25, you're 40, is you
Well,
really
we're putting
expecting Santa
hold
to
on a
come
second.
there?
We're putting a cap on Santa age range here because Alex, you promised me that I would just this was going to help us with that was part of the deal. That was part of the contract. Free present, free Santa for life at Goose Digital employees.
I think, we talked about the Santa's addressable audience, that we know that that's growing. Kevin's just proven how he's contributing to that growth. But if people don't age out,
Then you're done. Okay, so let's talk about let's build on the preferences because that was number 9, subscription preferences. So what have we done to set up the subscription preferences for this particular holiday season?
Oh, well, I think there's, sometimes people will want their presents under the tree. I think of so many kids now getting, e-cards, things like that. So they
Directly
might
to
just
their
want
email?
it directly in their phone, right? So that there's nothing to, card, they don't have to lose the physical card. It's in their phone.
Well, can we talk about even wrapping paper for a second?
Yes.
Maybe there's colors. Maybe there's
Yeah,
sort of
yeah, yeah,
textures.
yeah.
Maybe it's even
Bows, no bows. We
bows.
did.
What about tape? You know how some people tape every single part of the the wrapping, and it's impossible to get in. Maybe I just want one strip of tape. Like there's a lot of preferences.
And I know that Santa often leaves the presents unwrapped at some houses, right?
If it's in their preferences.
If it's in their preference, right?
Where is it? By the chimney? Is it by the
Right,
door? Is there
yeah.
a table?
What if they're doing like an Easter egg hunt but with presents? We don't know.
Wow.
Batteries
Traditions,
batteries
right?
charged,
Interesting.
no
Yeah.
batteries charged, right? Remember,
I think we're going to get into batteries on a different use case. but
Oh,
yeah,
are
it's
we
not-
getting into batteries on
are we?
everything? Okay, fine. We'll wait for
That's
that.
interesting.
All right, so let's get to number 10, social media.
Wow.
How are
So,
we supporting this?
There's a few cases, right? First of all, it's just broad distribution of messages. What if there's a weather alert? There's going to be some delays and whatnot, right? And I think nowadays, especially the more millennial audiences, I think they want to connect and they want to see a bit more into Santa's life. So maybe he's taking selfies and doing Instagram live posts, right?
So, Jeremy, like when you're tracking Santa,
Yeah.
are you doing that in social media?
I am. He has a very big Instagram following.
Hashtags.
Hashtags, everything.
But
Just
I think-
about everything.
I think the other thing is trying to link profiles of his contact base in his marketing automation platform.
Yeah.
And just trying to get a sense and trying to actually measure if you're able to make those connections through social media channels supported
Yeah.
by this particular platform.
All right. Okay.
Well,
So
we've got languages.
languages.
All those different languages you got to put on.
course.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Well, that was a
You're
big
right.
deal.
That is
That
a
was
big,
very
I think we
big
have
deal.
languages
deal.
as a bonus option below.
Yeah, multi-language is
Yeah.
a bonus
Yeah.
option.
Santa has like the best translator in the world, so
Yeah, look, if
Yeah.
you're
Well,
out
part of
there,
that's technology.
well, yeah,
if
that's
you've
it.
got a 2 billion audience and you're trying to do marketing automation, you're going to have some languages. And
Yeah.
You're going to have a couple.
I don't think Santa's
think.
using Google Translate.
No. Number 11, account-based marketing.
Yeah. So
This one surprised me that this actually was part of our implementation.
Well, it is, and I'll tell you why. Because sometimes there's shared gifts amongst multiple siblings, and so it's about going about this the right way, understanding who is the more influential decision maker in putting forth said gift idea.
Yep.
And then making sure we address each part of the gift for the multiple parties involved with the overall satisfaction rating.
Santa brought me a keyboard when I was younger. And I'll tell you one thing. You're not handing out 3 or 4 keyboards.
Oh.
You have to share a keyboard.
Yeah,
A big,
gotta
like a, you know,
share.
like a, not a full size, but a decent size. You're
Are we
gonna
talking
have
like
to
a piano keyboard?
Yeah, piano keyboard. You're
Right.
gonna need to share those.
So there's like periphery
Yeah.
gifts that would go into that account-based strategy. So
Mm-hmm.
that's the platform of music, right? But what if there's music books for you and your sister? What if there's, I don't know, all sorts of other things?
Okay, I'm gonna go to reporting because that we have more than 12.
We have some bonus ones.
We have some
It's
bonus
the
ones.
season of giving.
But this was huge. This was a very large implementation. So let's talk about the reporting side of this. And it's all said and done, and Santa's on his way home, and he's taken off his coat, and it's been a long day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Night.
And now he has, what is he? He has a dashboard. What
Yeah.
kind of KPI reporting are we pumping out here for this guy?
Well, I think it starts with delivery rates, right?
Yep.
Like anything less than like 99.9%.
Even that. I mean,
There's some unhappy people. 2 billion
Yeah,
addressable
yeah.
market.
yeah.
And open rate also, like, are we,
Mm-hmm.
you're right. So, the actual presence, maybe we can't track who's opening, but certainly anything that is, any kind of an e-card, we can certainly track the open rates there.
And I think just general engagement.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, taking it beyond that, I mean, giving Santa an engagement dashboard, no happiness
Mm-hmm.
levels, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And I think we talk about surveys later, but that's a
Yeah,
that's a
we
piece of it,
do.
too.
But, I think some of the other things that, Santa wants to track is, he's going to want to track some trending things year to year.
Well, I think
year
we
over
talked
year,
about
right?
we
So-
talked about adaptive email or adaptive opens and things
Mm-hmm.
like that. I think you want to sort of get an understanding as to how quick are individuals to open their gifts.
Yeah.
Because that could influence future patterns and decisions for next year and the year beyond.
Well, I would think also, I was thinking about behavioral scores, for example. So, how we have our different levels within the behavioral score. I think Santa wants to track those changes from year to year. I mean, is he starting to see, a growth in the naughty list and the super naughty list?
Oh, interesting.
These are important things because
key.
they could impact the type of gifts, the level of gifts. Also some of the preferences, delivery times. Well, if everybody changes to have a preference to have their Christmas presents delivered Christmas morning, that's going to have a
changes
big impact on Santa's entire journey.
And
These
I
are
also
important
think he
things
wants
you
to
need know.
see his social media audience growing
Oh,
too.
yeah.
Engagements, number of followers and likes. I mean, otherwise you can't be tweeting and driving a sleigh.
Well, no, that is,
Oh,
and
I think
that's,
that's illegal.
and that's getting-
actually.
I'm not sure of the jurisdiction there.
well, there's full automation on those sleighs now. That's
Kinda like an
that's a
airplane?
separate project.
Where like flies, where like
Yeah,
mostly.
That's something we're partnering with at Tesla on. Okay, is baking in marketing automation intelligence into the sleigh.
That's
Yeah,
gonna be.
Elon
that's-
Musk was just here
Yeah,
talking
but
about this.
that's another one.
Really nice guy. By
We're
the
gonna
way.
need some really interesting integration paths there. Maybe we'll use like segment.io or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. So, okay. So, anything else we want to throw on the table? I mean, this was one of the biggest projects we had on the. Like, it wasn't the biggest project that Goose Digital did this year,
Probably most complex though.
but
for
it
sure.
was probably was the most
It
complex.
feels also like maybe the most socially responsible project.
Yeah,
Like,
it
there's
was
a lot weighing in.
I
the
mean, we
balance.
charged a lot of money for it. Let's be honest. I mean, we did not give back socially on this one, but we charged a lot. No, I'm just kidding. It was totally free. The project was free, and it almost put us out of business because it was a big one.
Do you think it put us on the naughty list or the nice
No, I
list?
think we're going to
I think
get some
on the- I
presents.
think on the nice list.
I thought you got aged out.
I know, but
Well, but Jeremy, I don't
but-
think did.
but I don't know.
And, Jeremy, I think was in charge of all the creatives for this, so
Yes.
he probably deserves.
Yeah,
to be-
Santa and I are BFFs just because
yeah.
I'd show him something for an email and he'd be like, "This is amazing."
How
Yeah.
closely did you work with Mrs. Claus on this project?
Not closely at all, but she was definitely there to give cookies and coffee and hot cocoa and all that fun stuff.
Oh,
Lovely
good,
woman. The elves are a treat, by the way, if anybody was wondering.
Yeah, and I think one of the interesting things with this project was that Santa does not have a CRM. So we had to put this in. How do you do that? Well,
Wow.
that can be another episode if you're interested.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
you're a long-term legacy business that does not have a great CRM and you want to know how to unlock marketing automation potential in your business.
And chances
without
are
changing
you've got less
CRMs.
than 2 billion.
And chances are you have less than 2 billion.
Yeah.
But if you do, we're up for the challenge.
Yeah, but if you have more than that, I mean, let's not limit ourselves
Yes.
to
No.
planet Earth, right? Maybe we need to go outside of planet Earth if we need to. Okay, well, this was great.
Holiday edition, complete.
I'm almost done my cookie. How's everybody doing on their
The
cookie?
cookies are
I haven't even tried it
really,
yet.
really good.
Oh wow! Okay,
Yes,
so we got
very
everything from a
good.
full cookie to a
No
little.
tail.
To,
The tail went
I made it.
first.
This
I'm going to eat it off camera,
Yeah.
though.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. And I think we should thank Santa for being such a good customer.
Yeah,
right?
thanks for being such a
we
great-
appreciate the business, and we appreciate, we love a challenging project.
Yes,
And I think
and we look
worked
forward
really well
to
together.
we look forward to this holiday season not going off without a hitch, and then next year building on it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Awesome.
Should be great.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.